Hey everyone, I'm the producer of Form Therapy, and we are doing a late night reaction here at work. I'm in the studio, I was at work, getting ready to wrap up, and what do you know? My eye comes out. Currently it is 2:30 in the morning. I should have packed up and gone home, but no! I was like, you know what? I'm gonna delay the reaction video that was supposed to come out today, and I gotta put out my eye because I gotta support 17, I gotta support my boys. So first of all, we're gonna check this out. I know they released two versions. They released the Korean version on the VLive app, and they released the Chinese version on their YouTube channel. But we're gonna be checking out the Korean one, and I was told that there's not many differences between the Korean one and the Chinese one anyways, so that's the one we're gonna be focusing on, okay? Let's get started. Oh, this is a gorgeous opening. Alright, Jun with the all white, Minghao with the all black. Oh, they switched. Interesting. Jun's now wearing the black and Minghao's wearing the white. Ooh, interesting. It's got like this dark black void vibe. Kind of getting similar aesthetic vibes with the highlight music video. I can talk about that later, but definitely simple but elegant. God, the choreography. I actually already saw the choreography. I went to the 17 Diamond Edge concert in Dallas, and I got to see this live for the first time, and it was gorgeous. I love how contemporary the dance is. Oh, so gay! I love it! I love how they're connected by like this thread of fate or destiny. And the choreography, like, it has to be so precise so that that shit doesn't knot up, you know? Like, I can barely unspool my iPhone cables, and yet they're doing an entire choreography around this. Very interesting. I like the paneling on the floor. It's like got like a dark obsidian type feel. I wonder what was the purpose of them changing the outfits. Because in the beginning, Minghao was all black and Jun was all white, which fits with his hair. I love how in the song when Jun is singing, he's the one pulling, and then it switches off when Minghao's singing, he's the one pulling. And then in the chorus, they're both playing off each other. Interesting, that effect they were doing in the choreography. I used to think this song was more romantic, but it seems more about self-reflection, like yin and yang, like the black and white. You know, like that kind of thing you do when you see like your doppelganger or yourself. I feel like this choreography provides a lot more context to the song. I like how they try to pull away, they try to get away from each other, but they're still connected, and they eventually can't. Oh, and then they let go. Oh my God, dude, what the fuck? Oh, fuck, nigga! Did they do that at the live show? Holy crap! I don't remember that being that hard. Oh wow. I wasn't gonna watch the Chinese version. I felt like there was no reason to, if it's pretty much the same. People said that like a few angles and a few shots are different, but fuck it, I'm gonna watch the Chinese version. Fuck this. That was too good. Yeah, again, Minghao's in all black. Jun's in all white, but that's not the case in the music video. Interesting. I wonder why. It would have been interesting if the Chinese version of the music video, they had switched clothes, you know, like if Jun's in all white. Oh, wow, that is very jarring. Just because I know the lyrics and I was expecting to hear something else. I feel like I need to turn up the volume. Oh! That part still gets me. Wow, that like popping move, like he's like a machine, he's like a robot. Oh wow, I love how he like spools it around his hand. I feel like watching it a second time, I can appreciate the choreography a lot more because I think I was just, oh, I love how he's like blinding us. This choreography is so creative. This choreography is so emotional, so visceral. It's less like a dance and it's more like a performance art piece, you know? I love that part, how they come up together and they're holding hands. It's like they're looking in a mirror, you know? It's like they're opposites of each other, but they're also the same. Oh my god. Oh, I love that part right there. Oh, the angles are different, I think. I think for that part it showed us their back in the Korean version. I could be wrong. But it seems a little different. Yeah, the cuts are different right there. God, this part is so good. Oh my god. Oh my god, I love how he just like stood up at the end like he did nothing. Like, just acts all casual about it. Like, bitch! Okay, so that was My Eye by Jun and The8, aka Minghao. And I feel like there's a lot to break down here, so let's process this one by one. First of all, let's talk about the music video and its production. It is a music video off of another song of their album, so no way was this going to be a crazy high production video, and no way was it going to be expensive. They don't have that kind of money to allocate towards a video that's really not going to actually generate much income for them. That makes sense, you know, but there is something to say about a video that is simple like this, but they can make it look high production value. Now, what I mean by that is, yes, they could have gone the typical SM box trope, where it's just a blank, empty room, which is exactly what this was, and yet they made it look good. There's a difference between taking an empty room and making it look cheap because you're trying to get a choreography video out, or there's a difference between choosing a simple method because you want to convey something and to make that simple thing look really good and look really polished. And that's the thing about this music video. While yes, they were in an empty, blank, dark room, everything about this was very polished. The camera work, the lighting, the angles, everything about this, I feel like was treated like it was an actual music video as opposed to quote unquote a choreography music video. I feel like 17 is excelling at that. I mean, take a look at Highlight by 17. That was also a quote unquote another SM box trope, and yet somehow they made that look really stylish and very, very high quality. And honestly, I hope they do this with every single album now, to have a second music video where they put out a really polished, high quality second music video that feeds our thirst, you know, feeds our hunger. I feel like we've come a long way from a music video like Healing. Healing, a very good song, and the music video very fun and entertaining, but the music video is nothing really that high quality. I think it's definitely better than most travel music videos that people tend to do, but it is still a low budget music video. You know, obviously they are on a bigger budget than other low budget music videos, but still, you get exactly what I'm talking about. The production, and more importantly, the trust that they put in Jun and Minghao's music music video and choreography, I think it says a lot and it speaks a lot about Pledis' treatment of their members and Pledis' treatment of their fans, you know? I think this is less about giving something for Jun and Minghao, and this is more so about giving something for Jun and Minghao's fans. Jun and Minghao, they do plenty of work, you know? Even if they don't have that many lines in a song, all the 17 choreography is really, really difficult, and they have a lot on their plate as it is, you know? They're constantly promoting, they're constantly on tour, and yet they were given this. And yes, they have a personal stake in it as well. They can creatively express themselves, but I think ultimately the ones who benefit most from this are the fans. This is definitely for the fans, and I have to give props to Pledis for that, honestly. I think we've come a long way from Pledis being a shit-tier company group to being a mildly shit-tier company group. Honestly, I haven't had a reason to shit talk about Pledis in a long, long time. Like, they are doing a pretty good job, except the fact that After School isn't back yet. But I think so far, yeah, I like how they're treating 17. And continuing on what I was talking about the music video, the production of this was very interesting. I feel like the production reflects the choreography and the production reflects the story and the message of the song, or whatever the intent was. I think what I'm getting, you know, this song originally listening to it, it felt more like a torrid dance between two lovers, you know, a man, how I imagined it was a man and a woman, but like a man in like a very nice tux and a woman in like a sexy tight dress. They're in like very red lit surrounding, and it's like very much like this kind of like give and take between the man and the woman. It's like two opposing forces meeting each other. And that's sort of the vibe I got from it originally. But diving deeper into the lyrics and looking at the choreography here and looking at this music video specifically, I think it tells more of a story about self-reflection. And I think Minghao and Jun in this music video, in this song, they are each other. They are opposites of each other, or they are two sides of the same coin. You know, a lot of the lyrics are, I feel like they're talking about themselves, you know, and you see it in the choreography as well, where they're trying to get away from each other, but they're still bound by fate. They're still bound by the same soul. And you see it in some of the choreography where they're like touching each other. And you know, like whenever you see a TV show or a movie where like someone sees their doppelganger or their clone, they go like this, and then the other person goes like this, and then they do that whole dumb little cat and mouse thing. They did that here, you know, but I feel like it's not dumb here because it feeds into the story and the message. I feel like the black and white motif was very intentional. They're supposed to be yin and yang. And I feel like the black void was a very interesting choice. I mean, yes, I know they're saving money by doing this, but I think also artistically, this makes sense for the music video. This makes sense for the song. It feels like they are inside their own head. They're inside their own soul. They're lost in this ambiguous place of purgatory where it is just empty darkness, and it is just these two souls, these two minds, these two personalities at war with each other, you know, not a violent type of war, but this war of dance, this war of passion. And I think the black void really feeds into that all in your head type of mental concept. The camera work really complements the choreography of this song and really complements the storyline, because some of the angles, it's going like this, and then all of a sudden it'll just do a Dutch angle where it just like shifts like this, you know, or it'll just like, I don't know. I feel like the camera work itself, while it was pretty standard, it was just different enough where it fed into the sort of trippiness and sort of the celestial aura of the song. Like I felt like it added this extra sort of dimension to it. And you know, in filmmaking, that is perhaps one of the best valuable assets you have, using your camera work to tell a story. And I feel like they really did that here. They used the cinematography and how they built the set as a way of telling the story, and they also used the camera work to tell the story. And obviously the choreography tells the story as well. So I feel like no part of this production, this music video, went underutilized, which is fucking fantastic. You know, that's like filmmaking at its best. Choreography, I saw it live, and definitely getting a more, I feel like, clearer view provided me more context. You know, it felt way more romantic in person because they were also wearing red shirts, and the thread, I believe, was also red, and the performance was very hot. It was pretty gay, and I absolutely loved it. But I think watching this music video, it feels less romantic now. I love the concept with the ribbon, the thread of fate, because what is really tricky about this is that they can't have this thread, you know, tangle up. You know, so every movement they do, this choreography might be the trickiest choreography that 17 has ever had to pull off. And so that is very, very difficult because they were pulling off some really contemporary moves. They were pulling off some pretty outlandish moves. You know, there was a mixture of like the b-boying and the breakdancing in there. So I don't know how the fuck they pulled that off. I'm so blown away by how good this is. And I feel like this reaction is going on forever. I can't talk about this long, but I have to give props to Jun and Minghao. Like, honestly, watching this was emotionally very visceral. The song was very visceral, the choreography was very visceral, but I think what it comes down to is I'm really proud of Jun and Minghao. I got into 17, if you couldn't tell, I'm like the biggest Chong'an trash on the planet. And I got into 17 for Chong'an. And for a while, Chong'an was sort of the only person I cared about in the group. While I did like the group as a whole, I liked their music, Chong'an was the only one I cared about. But as it happens, when you fall in love with someone, you don't just fall in love with them. You fall in love with their interests, their hobbies, and you fall in love with the people that they care about. You know, Chong'an cares about his members in 17, and then because he cares, slowly I started caring. And then all the I don't really care, you know, whether China Line gets lines or not, became like, oh my god, can Chong'an and China Line get some lines, you know? I remember listening to My Eye for the very first time, which you could probably watch that reaction here. We did a listening party. It was such a very emotional reaction, you know, because I was so proud of them. You know, they get shit line distribution, and that's not their fault either, and it's not exactly Pledis's fault. Their Korean isn't exactly the best, but they're working hard and they're improving so much. I'm very surprised by Jun's Korean. You know, I met that boy in person and we spoke very briefly, but his Korean's really, really good. And I know Minghao has a lot more trouble than Jun does, and he has a thicker accent, but I love that he's improving as well, and that, like, he's come a long way since his debut. Like, he spoke like almost no Korean when they debuted, you know, like he pretty much only memorized what to say, but I feel like he actually can understand and actually speak Korean now. And I'm proud of that. And I'm proud that that they worked hard to get here, to get a song like this. And I wish nothing but the best for them. And I hope that this becomes a regular thing with Pledis, where they start releasing more duets within the group, just on each album, one song, maybe just like once per album. You know what I mean? Like, I think it'd be interesting if, you know, we had typical pairings, like maybe Chong'an and Joshua duet, but also just like out of left field, you know, like Seungcheol and Seungwan, you know, it's like, who would imagine that? But like, I feel like it would be more interesting to start seeing more collabs and more unit breakdowns and unit mixes. Yeah, I want to see more of this. And I just want to say I am very proud of my China Line boys. All right, guys, I'm sorry for rambling. I just really love the music video. But let me know what you guys thought. You know, if you loved it or hated it. I mean, you didn't hate it. That's why you're here. But let me know what you thought. Also, in the comments below, let me know what kind of duets and pairings would you like to see in the future for 17. Also, if you like this video, why don't you go ahead and click like down below. It really helps us out. And if you're new here, why don't you consider subscribing, and you'll be up to date on all our new videos. And if you want to see more, go ahead and click any of the links to the right, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.